Welcome to the Parlour Coffee House Sessions. I'm Jan Hall from Folk Roots Radio. Well, I'm not in the studio again today because we're still in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, and so I'm staying safe at home here at Folk Roots Radio. But we do have a very special episode to bring you today. In fact, we're going to be joined by two of my favourite people who just happen to be great songwriters. Helen Otten from Vancouver Island and Paul Otten from Cincinnati, Ohio, who make great music together as Big Little Lions. They've cranked out some amazingly addictive folk pop songs, despite being thousands of miles apart. So as artists, they are probably better at coping with these strange COVID times than most people. In fact, they released a great new lockdown album earlier this year, entitled Are We There Yet? From Are We There Yet? This is Big Little Lions with Rise. Enjoy.
This house, it keeps me warm, gives me protection. These walls, they are the arms that wrap around this home, and we will rise again. The strength to be alone, this isolation. Reach out, I am still here, inside the boundary lines, and we will rise again. One day this world will mend, although everything around me has changed. We'll do it all again to keep us safe. This world, it has its flaws, we'll make it better. And we will rise again. One day we all will mend, although everything around me has changed.
That's the Big Little Lions with Rise from their wonderful new Lockdown album entitled Are You There Yet? It's my great pleasure to welcome to the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions today Helen Otten and Paul Otten from the Big Little Lions. It's great to have you guys join us.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
Nice to be here for sure.
You know, one of the things I can't get over, and I should tell everybody that, you know, I know these people pretty well. I think this may be the fourth interview that I've actually done for Folk Roots Radio over the years, but they do make wonderful music. And, you know, I still can't get over the fact that they make music that is just incredibly catchy, but they're like 2,000 miles apart. And I think that's one of the most amazing parts of your story. Not that the fact that you are 2,000 miles apart and make music, but you make music so consistently. And, you know, when this pandemic started, I think that you were on tour. I saw a video of you playing in Penticton. I think the last...
Well remembered, yeah. Penticton Dream Cafe was our last gig.
Yeah, and so, you know, you do play live together, but most of the time you are apart and working on songs. And I know when this started, I think you said, well, I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do, but you've just consistently put out new music since it all changed, haven't you?
Oh, we've always been pretty driven people, you know, so both of us have that work ethic of like, let's just write and put it out. So we're kind of going back to what we started doing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in that aspect, our worlds didn't change much. It was just the touring got cut off. So that was the big change for us.
That's actually what I was saying during the intro, the fact that you're probably more adjusted to this than everybody else. In actual fact, I was thinking, you know, we probably should have you doing seminars, you know, perhaps some webinars for other artists about how to adjust to this situation, because you're quite used to this.
Well, we're doing something tomorrow for our managers at Traverse. They're doing a backstage HQ thing, so we're the featured guests tomorrow. So we're we'll talk about if anybody wants to know how we do it, because there was no change for us. We just got home and went, okay, let's write some more songs.
So I think Are We There Yet was your 7th album, right? That's since, was it 2012 or when did you actually?
I haven't been counting.
I think the first one was 2014.
2014 was Paper Cage, and I say I'm not really keeping count, so I because one's EP. Well, there was 2 EPs, and then so If you say 7, I believe you.
So we started off with Rise, which is a wonderful stop motion animation, absolutely fabulous song, and I think that was one that came out fairly early in the pandemic. But it has just a wonderful message to it. I'm curious about your videos, because I notice you put out videos for a lot of your songs. But do you make those yourselves, or do you have someone you work with?
No, that's
that would be Helen.
That's
She's below me.
I'm getting some skills. Because Paul does all the production for Big Little Lions, and I tend to do, you know, the kind of tour side of things. And so I'm trying to ramp up my video skills. And I could already use video software fairly easily, and then I bought Final Cut, which is a little more involved. And there's a stop motion app on my phone, so I figured I'll try and... Actually, you know what I did? I found these in an old doll's house we have, and I'm like, well, that's Paul. And I put a blonde wig on this one. So that was us working from afar on the video.
Well, it's such a cute video, and it's you know, it's really heartwarming. And I guess the thing I like about this is how it shows how much the video really complements the song. I mean, you know, people who really make an effort, not just to make a video, but make a video that actually speaks to what's in the song itself. I think that works really well, doesn't it?
Well, originally I was going to just use this old doll's house, which is a replica of our house. We lived in England, and I was just going to have the dolls doing things. And then I had this idea. It's like, I can make it me and Paul. And then I made this little miniature, you know, his setup and my setup. And that was fun to do. It was at a time where I was feeling a little bit lost as well. So it kind of gave me something kind of concrete to do.
And apparently I sleep a lot, according to the video.
You know, when I start making videos, I have an idea. Well, we come up with ideas, and then I just start it. I don't plan it out, so I just start it and see where it goes. And yeah, you ended up sleeping a lot. I didn't do it on purpose. It was easy to get you to roll around in bed.
Well, I love the way that he used the vacuum for a couple of seconds. Had to have a rest. I thought, oh, that's like none of the guys I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun to make, just because it's because I could imagine us at home.
Well, the interesting thing in being in radio is that I love it when people say, "Oh, I've got a new COVID song," because I've been playing lots of COVID songs on Folk Roots Radio, and I absolutely love them. One of the things I adore even more is that not only did you we start to say, well, I've got a new song, but then suddenly we get a new album that comes. Now, for the songs, I mean, do you both take the lead on, writing different songs? How does that work? I mean, does it just depend who comes up with the idea?
Pretty much. Yeah, I think Rise was an idea that I kind of formed. And so it goes either way. So that one I formed, and then I sent off the ideas that I had to Helen, and then she kind of...
That was an old idea that we hadn't used, I think, wasn't it?
Mm-mm.
Was it not?
That came up during this time, yeah.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to squeeze another video in now. I want to play Need One Another because this is a beautiful song. And, talking about COVID tunes and how much I love them, one of the things I really love is when musicians, get a song that, has a wonderful message especially for these strange times. Then they create a video that goes along with that song, but then they bring other people in, and I just love that. So tell us a little bit about this song.
I think this was the first one we put out, because I didn't think to actually, put it out a proper release. We just kind of put it out there. I don't know where the idea came from to get people to, but I think it was because I was stuck for video ideas. I'm like, okay, maybe I can bring people in, and we got so many people respond. People from all over the world were joining in. So it was just a really good feeling to kind of connect with other people.
It's like this whole technology of Zoom and thing that's come out of this pandemic has afforded us the ability to do that with videos, which was nice to add that aspect in, because everybody's pretty much conversing this way now. So,
yeah. Well, it's a beautiful song, and I think one of the other things that's great is it really shows the versatility of you as artists.
Oh.
This is Big Little Lions with Need One Another for the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions.
All in this together, I'll pull you through, please pull me through, try to make it better, please help me through, I'll help you through. We all need one another to heal this wound. We all need one another. Lost out in the ether, but I'll find you and remind you that time will make it sweeter. We can't undo, but we'll continue. We all need one another to heal this wound. We all need one another. Human kindness will overcome what has been done. We'll put it all behind us. What doesn't break us brings us something new. We all need all need one another. We all need one another. We're something new. We all need one another to heal this wound. We all need one another. 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 We all need one another.
That's Big Little Lions with Need One Another from their wonderful new pandemic lockdown album, Are We There Yet? Helen Otten and Paul Otten are our special guests on the Parlour Coffee House sessions today, chatting about the videos which they've produced for every song. But, you know, one of the things I love about your music is how many instruments you play. And now I think, Helen, usually you say that's mainly Paul, but I noticed that you're starting to play a few more instruments, getting into some more percussion and...
I mean, I play a bunch of instruments that are absolutely useless to Big Little Lions, like the flute and, you know, piccolo and...
You never know. One day that flute might come in handy.
Every time I mention flute to Paul, all he can think of is Anchorman, so I'm not allowed to play the flute to Big Little Lions. Yeah, so I mean, he does most of the stuff on all the production, and I can play other stuff. It's just easier for Paul to just put it all down and have it all kind of self-contained there.
Yeah,
I'm a control freak.
Oh, and that. No, he's not.
So when with the way you write the songs, take me through the process. So, Paul, you might start off with a song. I mean, we're going to play Stay In, which actually, interestingly, is not on Are We There Yet? That's on the album before that, Inside Voice, in a few seconds. But for a song like that, you play a lot of different instruments. And is this a song that you really started off with when you were creating it in the beginning?
This is a song. Well, first of all, we brought this into the pandemic times because it was from the last album before that, but I thought it was so fitting. But this song took on a lot of different versions before we got to the version that we settled on. So
we were almost writing in the same room for some of this, which is...
We were in Kelowna or something on tour like a year and a half, 2 years ago, sitting around in a Airbnb and started kind of working on it. But yeah, then it just went off so many different directions, recording wise, production wise. And I tried so many different ideas. And then, that was a bit frustrating in that aspect, but it was nice to kind of see the evolution of that song and where it ended up.
Yeah, because normally here, like the first production-ish is what we end up with. But that one, that was hard going because I wanted an anthem for introverts because most of my family are introverts. I just wanted something for them. And so that's where the lyrics came from. But we didn't know how to present it. Like, should it be a slow, sad song or an upbeat, like, Mumford & Sons type thing? So, yeah.
So when you came up with this, I'm curious when you say, well, we're actually in the same space when we started to work on that song. Was that a whole lot different from being 2,000 miles apart?
It's way harder.
Yes, it's tougher.
It is. We can't be in the same room and write properly. It just, doesn't work for us.
Yeah, not normally. No, it's, I think, because you feel like you have to finish something right there on the spot. So when you're working separately, you have your own time. You can go in and flesh it out a little bit more on your own time, and you don't feel like you got to get done while you're sitting there together in the same room. And so that pressure is off there. So
I think we both have a fear of rejection from each other.
So normally, how do you send snippets back and forwards is it by email or,
email
or something?
Yeah. Or text, yeah.
Occasionally text, but emails are easier to keep track of.
Yeah.
So we started that way. So it's it works for
I
us.
think I have about 6,000 memos on my phone of recording idea snippets. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I love you so much. The creativity is just there in bounds. You know, there's just so much of it. It just seems fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We try.
And so, you know, once a song starts to develop, Helen, are you starting to think what a video would look like for a song like this?
I don't tend to think about videos until after stuff is done. Like we've got another song coming out this month and next month, and I'm trying to get the video together for that now. So, yeah, I try not. I think the more I think, I can overthink it, and so I get stuck. So I try to kind of just gradually, day to day, have it in the back of my mind and see what comes up. Yeah, it's getting the idea for a video is. I mean, it's for anything really. Once you've got the idea, then you can move forward. But finding that initial idea, it can be really hard.
Well, I want to remind people, go to biglittlelions.com or go to YouTube and search for biglittlelions.com, because these guys have loads of great videos. In fact, when we were actually putting together this session and looking at all of the potential songs we could bring in, I could have played like 8 or 10 different songs. Absolutely fabulous. And you know, kudos to you, because the videos really do complement the song. Again, Stay In is perfect for these times. Absolutely, an absolutely perfect song for these times, which is why that, you know, you've entitled this one "Stay In," the lockdown version. Absolutely fabulous song from the Big Little Lions on the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions.
1, 2, 3, 4. Making up excuses again. It's not that I don't want to be a friend. It's the little voices that say you don't need to leave the house today. So I try, I try, follow through. You pin me to the floor, and I know it's not right that I stay home every night, looking at the door. Stay in. Happy alone here on my own. Stay in. Another night home. Forgive me, but I'd just rather stay in. I get a telephone call. I wait till it stops while I stare at the wall. Far too many people out there. Awkward at parties, my nightmare. So I try, I try, stay calm. I try to play along. Can I just go home? Stay in. Happy alone here on my own. Stay in. Another night home. Forgive me, but I'd just rather stay in. Happy alone here on my own. Stay in. No, I'm supposed to talk, but it don't come easy. I just fall apart and say the wrong thing. Enough excuses again. I know that I'll see you, but I don't know when. Please don't worry, I'm still alive. I just need the silence to survive. I just need silence. Stay in. Happy alone here on my own. Stay in. Another
that's the Big Little Lions with Stay In for the Sun Parlour Coffee House sessions today. Helen Otten and Paul Otten are our special guests. One of the things I love about that video, Helen, is the fact that you are playing the wine glasses, which is, I think, kind of rather appropriate for COVID times. I don't know if that's something that you developed when you were maybe having a glass of wine or two, but it works really well.
It was my husband's idea because I do like my white wine. And he's like, oh, you've got it. We're trying to think of ways, because there's that riff that comes in, the dum, 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 dum. I'm like, he's like, you've got to do it on wine glasses. So I got all the wine glasses out and trying to find the right notes. That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's wonderful the way that you playfully pull this together. And I get the sense that you don't tire of working on these things. I mean, do you ever go through periods where you just feel like, we don't really want to spend so much time working together?
There's a question. No.
Not yet.
Well, one of the good things about lockdown is all this stuff is that we now chat every week with our spouses. So we have a snack and chat thing. So we actually spend more time together now chatting, because we all like it. For the four of us really like each other just as friends. So, no, I think we're just as enthusiastic as we've always been. I mean, I can't speak for you, Paul. Say that.
No, I mean, I think it doesn't die out, thankfully for us yet. It hasn't. I mean, I think because we always have new boundaries we want to push, new ideas, new styles we want to try out within the realm of our band. So
I think because we are both driven people. So, and I say our work ethics really match well. So yeah, somebody else asked us that recently. It's like, do you ever fall out? It's like, no, we bicker like brother and sister, but we don't fall out.
No, not yet. Never say never.
I know when you first started working together, I think you were thinking of it as more just a songwriting partnership.
Oh, yeah.
Then it developed into a live thing as well, right? Because I know the last time that we talked for Folk Roots Radio, I think you were either on Prince Edward Island, you were certainly in Eastern Canada at the time.
We were.
We talked about Inside Voice, your wonderful last album. You were on tour just before this. So it must feel a bit strange that side of things is just not happening. I guess this is the downside of the fact that you are so far apart, because if you ever get offered a gig, it's either going to be a gig in the Cincinnati area or a gig on Vancouver Island. It's not something that's going to come together until we get through this.
Right.
Yeah, I think we had a gradual realization, because we were on tour and we started off the tour going, oh, it's just like the flu. And then we were like, uh-oh, this isn't looking good. So we had to cut it short, and Paul went back. And then we thought we'd be touring again in May, and then that was gone. And then we thought, so it's been a gradual realization.
So you'll be looking forward to getting back out on the road once this is all over?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been frustrating because at the start of us performing together, it was like we did short tours because we didn't really know what we were doing. So we'd get to the last show of that short tour and we'd finally gel. And then it would be 6, 7, 8 months. And it was like we had to start over again. And then I think in 2016, we finally toured enough that we could come back with a little bit of rehearsal and just like click right again. And then now with this, it's going to be a test, because we're going to have to, it's not like 3 months in between. It's going to be a year plus in between where we're going to really have to try to gel again.
We're just going to need to actually have some proper rehearsal time. Normally we'll try and fit in like an hour or two, but we'll have to actually figure in a couple of days to make sure we've got that. And ironically, now we both had kids at home, and so we couldn't go on longer tours. And this was the year that both our kids are going off to university, and it's like Jenny could come with us, and we were supposed to go to England in March for a month of touring around the UK, and it's all gone. So
did those dates get moved till next year, or that hopefully would be the plan?
So that's March 2022.
Which is probably the right thing to do. Yeah.
And all our summer stuff got moved as well to this summer, next summer, but who knows?
Yeah. one of the things I love is the fact that you're really making an effort to keep things going. I mean, writing songs, making great videos, putting them out. I was pleased to, when you started sending me these songs this summer during lockdown, you told me that, Are We There Yet was coming out, which was wonderful. And then no sooner had I, working my way through that, suddenly I found out there's even more songs coming because Distant Air, the song we're going to play in a few moments, was released just recently. And I think you're planning, is it from now on, maybe a song a month for the rest of the year? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we've got it planned out. We're doing a concert each month, so we're playing our albums. We're doing our albums top to bottom. So this month we did A Little Afraid, A Little Torn. Next month we're doing Just Keep Moving, which is interesting because we do a song swap. So we have to kind of break them down acoustically. And we record a few videos as well so people get the harmonies. So we're doing that in conjunction with releasing a new song each month as well.
I have another cat coming to visit.
I love cats.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And do you find the live streaming fun? I mean, you're quite used to being in separate places and working together. Does it work pretty well for you?
It's been a work in progress. We just to figure out sound. And not just going through our computer speakers or using a phone and using the phone mic or something. So we've tried to mess around with sound and to get the levels right and make sure it's streaming okay to everyone that's might be listening. But it's been fun to just perform. I wish we could perform together like we normally do, but that speed of sound thing is kind of a nemesis.
I know. So he'll be singing, and I'll quietly in the background try and join in a harmony, like just so it doesn't seem too kind of jarring. But yeah, it's frustrating that we can't sing together. But it's really nice just to. Yeah. It's nice to have nice to have them to work towards. Like it's been really fun relearning some of these songs.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite clear you've developed some really good skills. There's absolutely no doubt to that. No doubt about that at all. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you join us today, Helen Otten and Paul Otten from the Big Little Lions. We're going to finish with Distant Air. Tell us a little bit about this song, because not a COVID tune, but I think it may speak to some of the struggles that we do have going through times like this. Yeah,
well, this song was kind of an older one that I had that I threw into the mix, and we kind of reworked it a little bit. And it's definitely a departure from our sound in a lot of ways. It's a little more electric, but it kind of marks the start of these new monthly singles, and we know we can't tour around them right now and perform them live, so why not play with the sounds a little bit more and experiment. But yeah, the song is kind of about holding in emotions and feelings and stuff, and not really maybe waiting for that bomb to go off when they finally get released, but working your hardest to keep your emotions bottled up. And I think that could go for a lot of things. I think people with the election and everything like that and Black Lives Matter there's frustration there that some people are trying to dance around a little bit and not say too much. And you have friends that election-wise that might be on other sides of you, and you're trying to play nice, and they might say something and you really want to say something back, and you kind of hold in those those potentially dangerous words to them. And so it could deal with a lot of that. And
I have to say, I think it's my favorite that we've ever done.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I could play it over and over. That's always a good sign when Paul sends you something and I want to play it over and over, because I don't listen to us, for fun, because why would you listen to yourself for fun? But that one I wanted to play over and over.
Well, that's great. That's a perfect thing to say. And to me, that is the Big Little Lions, always, looking to stretch. I love the fact that you're not afraid to talk about very personal issues. You've covered mental health. You've, talked about politics at different times, and then put out this wonderful COVID lockdown album as well. I wanted to thank you, Helen Otten, Paul Otten.
Thank you.
Lions joining us today. We'll leave you with Distant Air. Stay safe and well, everyone. We will get through this. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Follow all the words I've swallowed into the back rooms with locks and shackles. Leave it to forget. Buried in the back. Never paid the rent. Settled with dusty armor. No sign of life here. A sea uncharted, left unaware, like distant